All right, so the Chuck Schumer Senate Democrats apparently want to criminally bust U.S. oil and gas CEOs, maybe even hang them, according to a Wall Street Journal editorial page. My goodness. Joining us now to talk about it, Rick Perry, former Energy Secretary, former Texas governor. Rick Perry, old friend, welcome back. This is such a great story. Schumer and the Democrats. Here's the deal. That's from a Federal Trade Commission. Okay, this Linacon or Linacon, whatever, however you pronounce it, because the CEO of Natural Resources, a guy named Scott Sheffield, oh my gosh, Rick, here it comes, through an analyst, just an American bank company analyst of oil, had commentary about OPEC. All right, and this guy, Sheffield, would sometimes blast things out from the analysts, from newspapers, and OPEC people could see them just like anybody else. And so for that reason, Schumer and the Democrats and the Federal Trade Commission want to criminally prosecute Natural Resources CEO Sheffield and maybe the rest of the CEOs. What a terrific idea. What you think, Rick?
You didn't think they could go any further crazy over there, but it never ceases to amaze me. We obviously are getting close to an election, right? So, you know, big oil bad. Anything to deflect from the policies of the Biden administration, which have driven up the cost of energy, which have driven up the cost of everything that Americans are buying out there, whether it's their food, their gasoline, anything that gets transported. Cost of energy is right at the heart of our economy. And this administration has made really poor choices from the standpoint of moving an economy forward to placate the radical left environmentalists that they have to win the election. You know, they're losing young people's votes. They're losing African-American votes. They're losing Hispanic votes. And we got to get something going here. So, you know, don't pay attention to the little man behind the curtain. Look over here at this shiny thing, and it's got to be these big oil companies, these big oil executives. And, oh, my God, they're actually sending out information from OPEC. OPEC is even worse than fossil fuel energy companies. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And, you know, you're right. It's a new low. You know, it's interesting, Rick. We looked this up. OPEC is announcing that their cutbacks in the so forth, whether they do it or not, they're going to keep cutbacks. But Saudi Arabia is producing 10 million barrels a day. That's the peak for them. That's the peak, 10 million barrels a day. Now, the United States back to 13 million barrels a day, which is where we were pre-pandemic in 2019. If it hadn't been for Biden policies, I would argue, our oil and gas guy, we could be printing, I don't know, 14, 15, maybe 16 million barrels a day. That would have been the trajectory off of 2018 and 2019. That would, you know, oil prices, Brent would be $40 a barrel, not $80 a barrel. And the inflation rate would be 1%, not 3, 4, 5%. I mean, that's the deal. The Democrats, you know, they started this, and they're to blame. And throwing CEOs in jail is not the answer.
Yeah, and really, when you think about, had the Trump policies continued on forward, we would have not seen Russia be in the position that it's in today. We would not have seen Iran in the position that it's in today. We would be in a place where the United States could be the good ally all around the world to those who want to deal with us in a fair and honest and open way. But we have been put now back into a position of weakness in a lot of parts of the world because of energy policy by the Biden administration.
So Iran continues to avoid the sanctions. And this I blame the Biden administration. I blame them. Russia. I mean, Russia's producing, I don't know what they're producing. I think they're close to 10 million barrels a day. The sanctions never really impacted Russia, for heaven's sakes. China is buying oil from Iran and Russia, hand over fist, if you will, and they're financing two wars against the United States by buying and therefore providing foreign currency reserves, money in general, to two enemies of ours, Russia in the Ukraine war and, of course, Iran in the Israel-Hamas war. And the Bidens do nothing about it, Rick. They do nothing. Not only won't they let us print oil here at home, they are letting Iran and Russia produce oil abroad and fighting American troops and American allies. I don't get it.
Yeah, and when you really get down to our U.S. internal economic policies, what they are doing to states like Pennsylvania, what they're doing to other oil-producing states, Louisiana, Texas, et cetera. You know, they may not care about Louisiana and Texas. They've lost them politically. But Pennsylvania is in the mix.
Right.
And there are a lot of companies that rely upon oil and gas industry to drive economics there. So this war on fossil fuel, this war against all of the baseload, you don't ever hear these people talking about small modular reactors, which are economically feasible today. They're walk-away safe. They're environmentally sound. You don't hear them talking about that. They're anti-nuclear. They're anti-fossil fuels. I will venture to say, I think they're anti-American, because if you're not for those two industries being strong and putting America first, you got to be against us.
Yep. Certainly against our own interests. That's for sure. Rick Perry, good to see you, sir. Thank you ever so much.